Hi everyone. May has arrived here in Southern California. I'm in Zone 10B. Due to the record-setting warm winter in Southern California, our cool season veggies did not perform as well as past winters. So I cut our losses and pulled out most of the plants back in February. I planted warm season plants in late March, the earliest I've ever started. The garden is now flourishing. I've never had fruit set so early in the season. I'm already seeing young tomatoes, eggplant, peppers, and beans. In this video, I'll take you on a tour of our small 100 square foot kitchen garden, which is made up entirely of containers. I'll harvest some veggies and do some chores. I'll plant sweet potato slips. I'll set up a plant cage for our bitter melon, and I'll feed the tomatoes, eggplant, peppers, and beans with an organic liquid fertilizer. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned gardener, let us show you how fun, easy, and practical it is to grow veggies in containers. We would love to hear from you in the comments about any connections you have as you watch this video. If you get anything out of the video, please consider hyping, liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. We would really appreciate it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Ginger's here to harvest the green beans. When I purchased these beans and I put them in, the label from the garden center said that they were Blue Lake bush beans, but clearly these are yellow wax beans. So I think the seeds got mixed up. There are some darker beans, like here's a Blue Lake bean there. So this is a mix. Are there some ready to be picked, Ginger?
Yep. Like this. Let's see if I can pull it out.
Okay, yeah, you got them there. Yep. Nice.
Oh, some here.
Mm-hmm.
I might leave some of those.
Yeah.
These are the green ones.
These are the Blue Lake, yeah.
Oh, hi, Lou.
Nice.
You want a green bean? Come on over here. Oh, come here. Here it is.
That's a nice harvest of
It is.
beans. Pretty good start, huh?
Yeah, well, the yellow and green look nice together.
Yeah. All right. In these two pots, we have Tendersweet carrots. So Ginger's gonna pick the bigger ones. I grew these in succession so that we would have carrots over a longer period of time. None of them are really that big. They're kind of snack size.
Oh, he's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Maybe this guy. Ooh. Ooh.
All right.
A little bit bigger.
Yeah, it's a little bigger.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh, that's a long one. All right. Hey, what are you doing? Go ahead, you can have it. That's a nice little snack for you, Luna. Okay, that looks good.
Enough for a little snack.
Okay. Let's take a look at what Ginger harvested today. We have yellow wax beans and Blue Lake bush beans, and we have some Tendersweet carrots. Beautiful. All right. Thank you. In these pots, we have Millionaire Japanese eggplant, and they're growing pretty well, but over the past week or so, we've noticed aphids on the leaves. And so we've been trying to control them with insecticidal soap. So there you see the aphids. And this is the insecticidal soap that we use. So could you get those, Ginger? So we just spray it directly onto the aphids. You can also take water and just spray them off. That works too.
Looks like a grasshopper got in here too.
Yeah. So these aphids are on both the front and the underside of the leaves.
See this guy right there.
Yeah, I see some over here as well.
So now that the eggplant have fruit on them, it is time to protect them from the rats. We have had some luck with using freezer bags with the bottoms cut out. This is a quart-sized bag, and I'm going to put it around the fruit. Here's another one. This one looks nice. So we put it around it and just try to zip up the seal all around the stem. And the opening at the bottom allows the condensation to dry up. Okay, it's protected for now. We'll see what happens and keep our fingers crossed.
Next to the eggplant, I have 4 pots of Shishito peppers. This is a thin-skinned mild pepper, and there are a lot of fruit and flowers on these plants. So I expect these to be ready in the next week or so. In these 5 pots, I have Momotaro tomatoes, and as you can see, they're doing really well. I am training these plants up 2 lines of twine. So I have been cutting out the suckers, leaving one behind to create a second leader. I'm using tomato clips to train them up the twine. You can see plenty of flowers and a lot of fruit has set. Here's some fruit here. Here's a nice cluster of fruit here. This is the earliest I've ever had fruit set, so I'm very excited about this. Around the corner from the kitchen garden on the steps of my deck, I have a Japanese pumpkin called Kabocha. Kabocha has a sweet, nutty, dense and creamy texture. The rind is dark green and hard, but when cooked, it becomes edible. On the back wall, we have these green onions from cuttings, and I have to say, this is very convenient when we want to add it to our cooking. This is a Thai chili pepper plant. This is Thai basil, and we have parsley. This is thyme. And in this pot, we have a mix of chives, cilantro, and basil. And here's our little nursery area. These are more Momotaro tomato plants that I propagated from cuttings. Let's take a look at the bottom of this. So you can see that there are roots that are coming out of the bottom, which is a great sign that these are developing nicely. You can see some roots there. And these were simply the suckers that came off of the Momotaro tomato plants that I kept in water for about a week and then potted them up. In these 2 pots, I have a Japanese cucumber called Tsuyataro. I sowed the seeds for these plants back in March. These plants produce a glossy, deep green, nearly spineless fruit. They're about 8 to 9 inches long. And you can see that I have the plants set up on this tall trellis. In these 3 pots, I have bitter melon, also called bitter gourd. They're popular in Asian countries that have a tropical and subtropical climate. These are a climbing vine, so as they grow out, they get rather bushy and they need support. In order to provide the support for this bitter melon, I'll be installing this plant cage that I've been using for the past 3 years. I just took this out of storage, so I use it year after year. The pieces come from a company called Orgrimmar, and I'll place a link in the description. It's a great system that I use not only for the plant cage, but also for my cucumber and tomato trellises. So let's go ahead and install this plant cage. Okay, that only took me about 5 to 10 minutes to all put together. Of course, when I first set this up, it took some time to figure out what I wanted to do. But ever since that first year, when I put this plant case together for the first time, it only takes me a few minutes to snap it back together. But I have to add some reinforcing to these clips. So I'll give you a little closer look at these clips and how I do that. This joint is created with this buckle. The buckle snaps into the horizontal as well as the vertical piece. But that is not strong enough to support the weight of the plant as it bushes out, and especially when the fruit start to arrive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a zip tie to reinforce this joint so that it can hold the weight of the plant. I'm going to take a pair of pliers and just pull it nice and tight. Okay. All right, so that joint is nice and strong now. I'm going to do that to all of the joints. All right, all the corners have been reinforced with the zip ties. So the plant cage is nice and strong. I've also added some twine down at the base of the plants and connected them to the top so that the plants have a way to climb up the trellis. Sweet potatoes grow from slips, and that's what I have here. This is a Satsuma sweet potato resting on some wet potting soil. This was started back in March, so these are about a month and a half old. All of these shoots that are growing from the sweet potatoes are the slips from which new sweet potatoes will grow. So to prepare the slips, what I do is I strip off all the leaves, leaving just the tip, and then after those wounds have healed over, I'll pop the shoot from the potato and place it into water. And that's what I have here. These are longer sweet potato slips that I'm going to plant deep into the grow bag. And these are shorter slips that I will plant shallower in the same grow bag. So I'm planning to plant 3 of these and 3 of these into the same grow bag. Okay, let's go ahead and take out these slips from the bottle of water. So let's go ahead and lay these out. These are beautiful slips. They're nice and thick as they've been establishing in the water for a couple of weeks now. And let's just take a look at one of these. So with this one here, you can see the roots down at the bottom and all along the slip. And we have a leaf at the very tip. So we're going to plant this one deep into the grow bag. Let's take out these shorter ones. And you can see that these are also nicely established. Let's take a look at one of these. That's a beautiful slip right there. So this will be planted shallow in the same grow bag. Okay, let's go ahead and plant these out. I'm going to plant these sweet potato slips into this grow bag. Now you'll notice that this grow bag also has sweet potatoes in it, but these are a purple sweet potato. Now I noticed the last time that we harvested the sweet potatoes, these purple ones seem to clump around the root at the very end of the slip. So what I've done with this grow bag with the purple sweet potatoes is I planted 3 slips deep, 3 in the middle, and 3 towards the top. So there's a total of 9 slips in this grow bag. Now with the Satsuma sweet potatoes, I noticed that the potatoes developed mostly at the bottom, but also along the slip itself. But most of them were down at the bottom. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to first remove this mulch, and then I'll plant 6 slips, 3 deep and 3 shallow. And that's based on my observations of the development of the sweet potatoes in our last harvest. Okay, so I got the mulch out. This is nice and moist. So I'm going to take this stake here and measure the sweet potato to this stake. So let's take a look at this one. This is a nice, healthy, thick one. So we have sweet potato. I'll be planting it that deep. Okay, So I'm going to go into the soil to that point there. Okay. And then remove the soil. Then we'll take the slip and drop it into the hole. Perfect. And then backfill it with the leaves just above the mulch, which will go in last. Okay. Okay, so those are deep, and most of the sweet potatoes should develop near the roots, the end of the sweet potato slip, but there will be some that grow along the length because that's how they grow. They are theoretically they'll grow from each of these nodes. Okay, so I'm going to plant 3 shallow. Let's take a look at the depth I have to go. So about there. Okay. And let's take this slip and drop it in. Let's see. I'm going to keep these roots covered up with this paper towel so they don't dry out. Okay. Backfill it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and return the mulch now. And the mulch will prevent that soil from drying out. Okay, let's go ahead and water this in. I'm going to feed our vegetables with this Dr. Earth tomato, vegetable, and herb fertilizer. It has an NPK of 322. This is a concentrate, so I'll have to dilute it with water. The directions for mixing are shake well before each use, and to use 4 tablespoons or 2 ounces per gallon of pure water. Mix the ingredients thoroughly to completely dissolve all ingredients into a liquid water solution. Okay, let's go ahead and mix this up. Okay, let's go ahead and shake this up. I have 2 gallons of rainwater here, so that means I'm going to pour in 4 ounces of this concentrate into this measuring cup. Okay, that's 4 ounces. Add this to the watering can. And let's mix it, but what I like to do is to add water to the measuring cup from the other end. That way I can get every bit of the concentrate. Okay. And let's mix that up. Okay, let's go ahead and feed the vegetables. I'm going to start with these Momotaro tomatoes. Okay, then I'm going to work my way back and fertilize the eggplant. Now these eggplant and the tomatoes have fruit, so hopefully this will help to develop the fruit and the plants. These are Shishito peppers here. Okay, work over to the other side. Alright, so these are bitter melon. I'm going to hit these as well. And let's hit these green beans. Okay. So there you have it. This was our May garden update. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider liking, hyping, and sharing this video with people you know. Please consider subscribing to our channel. We would really appreciate your support. And as always, thank you so much for watching.